How's it going? Got a 9213 here. And as you can see with my duffel bag on the bed in a hotel room, I'm changing companies. I left Martin about a week ago. Took some time off, went to Vegas, had some fun. Back at it. So, Martin's a good company. I still recommend them 100%. Just know what you're getting into. I was with Martin for almost a year, running their Michael's dedicated account. Know what you're getting into, okay? Because when you go to orientation, they're going to tell you stuff about generalized, how Martin works generally. They don't tell you about dedicated. Dedicated, you kind of got to figure out on your own by asking questions. My fleet leader, I would ask questions. He'd go, "Oh, well, let me find out for you," and he'd never get back to me. That's normal for DMs and fleet leaders and stuff. So, the pros about running on the Michaels account: you're home pretty much every day. I was running into Phoenix, so I was home every other day. I was doing 3 loads a week, and like I said, I was home every other day for my 10-hour break. It's more like 8 hours, but who's counting? And I was in the truck basically 7 days a week. I was doing a 34-hour reset at home on the weekend. But there's some things they didn't tell you. They conveniently don't tell you about being dedicated. Being on a dedicated account, specifically Michael's, for instance, because that's the one that I run, that's the one I know, we didn't get paid for backhauls. So if I'm down in San Diego and I'm heading back up to Lancaster, it's about 150, 160 miles, they'll give me a backhaul along the way, which only goes a couple miles out of route. I only get paid for the couple miles out of route. I don't get paid to sit there while they load me, being detained. I don't get paid anything extra for the extra pickup because it's a new load. So I get paid on the Michaels account. You get paid 25 cents a mile plus a 4-cent bonus, so you're getting paid basically 30 cents a mile. So for that extra maybe hour and a half, 2 hours of work, which you're already pushing your 14-hour clock, when you go down to San Diego, you get a whopping 60 cents, maybe $1.20. It ain't worth it. So I told early on, I was like, hey, don't give me backhauls. I'm not getting paid for them. I don't want to do any backhauls. And for the most part, my DM, he'd kind of okay, whatever. All right, I'd help out when it was needed, but for the most part, I refused to do backhauls because I wasn't getting paid for them. I don't believe in driving and working without getting paid. Well, it's only a couple miles out of route. Yeah, but it's an extra hour and a half to wait and get loaded, check in, do all that, find the door, and all that I'm not getting paid for. You don't get paid detention. So there's a few times where I'd go to a store, and the store would be scheduled with only 3 people to unload half of a 53-foot trailer, and they're only supposed to take 2 hours because I have another store that I have to go to drop off my last half of the load, and they end up taking 4.5 hours. So now I have to wait that 4.5 hours without getting paid, drive to the other store, which could be anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour away, and then I'm like 3.5, 4 hours late to that store. I straight up tell them, hey, the other store took too long, the store didn't schedule enough people, whatever the case may be, not my fault. And then they take another 3 hours to unload me when they're only supposed to take an hour and a half or whatever. And now I'm getting caught in all the traffic heading back, again, that I'm not getting paid for. On average, there's about 12 to 18 hours a week worth of detention that I wasn't getting paid for. 12 hours at $20 an hour adds up, So things like that they didn't tell you. They tell you about the backhauls. They didn't tell you, if you go get your hazmat endorsement, we'll pay you $1,000. Real fine print on the poster. Regional and OTR only. Dedicated, get fucked. Martin is a good company. It's what you make of it. Being on that dedicated account, it's not the best. Was it good? Did it pay me decently? Sure. Was I making more than Swift? Absolutely. But it there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I didn't really like. Now Marten, like I said, I still recommend it to people. It's a good job. You know, they have good equipment. Their equipment's pretty well maintained, and depending on who your fleet manager is, they'll work with you. They'll listen with you. So, like I said, it is what you make of it. I go to orientation tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Sometime within the week, I will give a tour of my truck, and I will kind of let everybody know what's going on as far as who I'm going with and all that. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, click that like button. See you guys in the next one.